Let's do something like this. What is aggregate demand given an increase in government spending equal to plus 100, okay, 100. Now notice everybody, this thing here, this is 2,000. All this is autonomous expenditure, right? So what I just asked you was, this is DQ, this is DG, right? This is DG. If I changed investment because I changed the interest rate, we have DI, right? So basically all that stuff's in there. This is the autonomous part. If I change G, I'm changing the autonomous part of AE. If I change I, I'm doing the same. So what is aggregate demand given an increase in G? Precisely. Who's got an answer for me? I was talking to some students in the other class, good students like you guys, and I said, which would you like, micro or macro? Of course, everybody kind of likes micro, I'm trying to get it, because it's more straightforward, they think it's cut and dry, you're doing the same thing over and over. In macro, you have these different diagrams going in all these different directions. But in fact, this diagram, we're just doing what we already did with the macro model. Change in G, go ahead and do it, right? So what's the answer? What's aggregate demand? Yeah.
8,400 minus 16p.
8,400 minus 16p. Now, you'll notice therefore, when I give you some questions subsequently, I must first of all give you this. I can't give you aggregate demand. You might say, why doesn't a guy give us aggregate demand? It's easy to solve, but I'm not going to give it to you. Because you need to know what the multiplier is. You need to be able to do what I just did here. So now y, in our case, is 2,000 plus 0.75 y plus, I'll stick in here 100, right? Minus 4p. And this, of course, is going to be 2,000, I'm just going to stick it in like this, plus 100 minus 4p divided by 1 minus 0.75, right? Now you'll see that aggregate demand doesn't change by the amount of government spending. It changes by the multiplier times government spending. The intercept of aggregate demand shifts by the multiplier times the change in A. So this turns out to be 8,400 minus 16p. Now you could, by the way, another way to do it is G increase by 100 implies dy, change in y, is 4, that's the multiplier times 100, which is plus 400, which implies, because it's telling you how much aggregate demand shifts, it goes up by 400. So now y equals 8,000 plus 400 minus 16p, right? So that's another way of getting it, 8,400, right? So that's how aggregate demand is going to behave. Okay, let's go back. We're going to do revisit. I'll get rid of this. We'll revisit what we did the last day to make sure we know what to do. So let's set it up. Upper diagram. Lower diagram. Horizontal axes, real GDP, real Y actually. But again, it's the same as real GDP, they're always the same. Over here, P, or price level, might be better. And up here, real aggregate expenditure. So I'll say to you something like this, okay. Suppose, remember, in the long run aggregate supply is going to be vertical. We'll talk about it in a minute, all right? But let's just do this. Suppose a macroeconomy, no, I'll say use aggregate expenditure and income diagrams and aggregate demand, aggregate supply diagrams to show an economy originally in long run equilibrium, macro equilibrium. Okay, so that's going to be this. Up here, you've got the 45-degree line, say like that, and you've got aggregate expenditure like this. This is AEO. And try to remember, it's AEO for P0, right? For a given price, the price. The price is what's important to set that. Then down here, we're going to have this dotted line here, like this. I don't know, it should be dotted. All right, this is Y0, but because we're in long-run equilibrium, that implies we're at full employment, which is here. Right? Now, where you put this full employment, where you put long-run aggregate supply is, of course, important. But if we're initially in long-run equilibrium, it's whatever your equilibrium is up here. But now I have to add a little more to that and just call this long-run aggregate supply like this. Okay? So this turns out to be long-run aggregate supply, potential GDP. And then we have to have, if we're in equilibrium, all it means is aggregate demand comes down like this. And let's just look at this for a second. This is aggregate demand, AD0, right? And this intercept term right here is 8,000. Right? Go back. Our initial point. Ooh, here we go. Sorry, I can't find it yet. Is that us? No. Okay, where are we here? Nope, okay, it doesn't matter, who cares? All right, I'll just step back up here, and we'll just get rid of all this now. Okay, so remember, we had aggregate, hang on, aggregate expenditure equals 2,000 plus 0.75y minus 4p. Okay. Like that, all right? And then we know that that implied that aggregate demand was 8,000 minus 16p. Notice if p was 0, aggregate demand would be 8,000. Now I gotta find that other thing. Oh no. 22? Oh, beautiful. How'd you know that? Because you were sensitive and thoughtful. Okay, here we go. So this number is 8,000, everybody? This number is 8,000. Wait a minute, okay, that number is 8,000. The price level then, whatever, we don't know what this price level here is. Right? This is P0. We're not going to actually just leave that like that, okay? All right. So we actually don't know right now what Y is. I'll tell you that in a minute. Just leave it for the moment. Okay, so let's just say we're here. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to increase, as we saw last day, we're increasing aggregate expenditure like this, exaggerating it. Like that, right? So right here, this is 2,000. Is it 3,000? Yeah. And wait a minute. Yeah, 2,000. Is that right? And this is 2,000. Is it 100? Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So there we are. We've got that stuff over there. And this causes, like I keep reiterating to you guys, because this is incredibly important, causes this shift here. Now we're actually going to see, we're not going to give this a number. We're not going to give this a name. We don't need to. For reasons we'll see in a minute. This gives us this, as we saw before, if we didn't have this aggregate demand supply business, we would have merely said that equilibrium G went up by the multiplier, right? So this would be dG times the multiplier, like that. So that's what we would have said before if we were ignoring this business down here. But what we really want to get out of this is this. At that equilibrium, that first price, that one right there, we need to shift aggregate demand horizontally by that amount. Right? So we need this shift like that. All right? And just notice, you know, your intercept term has shifted. You can see that the shift, it's 8,400 because that's the intercept term, it's shifted by that amount. And you can see that the shift here is exactly this, right? The change in G times the multiplier. So aggregate demand is shifting left and right by the change in atomic spending by the multiplier, by the increase in equilibrium GDP if there was no change in price. Let that ring in your head. That's really important. Okay, first thing, right? So that's what we're going to set up. Now, our next move is this. I don't think we're going into this much last day, but we're going to go into it now. Actually, we're going to take a 10-minute break now. Then we're going to go in. We're going to move into long-run aggregate supply, short-run aggregate supply. And you can see there's kind of a neat, there's a whole neat story that's going to be told here. Okay, 10 minutes. If you haven't picked up your exam, please do so.